Some of you know me, some of you don't. I am absolutely a self-proclaimed optimist, maybe to a fault. And because of this, I changed my presentation last night. I drive my marketing team nuts because I work on a deck, and then right before my presentation begins, my mind wanders and I completely go off script. So these are unique times, so I'm going to give myself a pass. But I had a few things on my mind I wanted to chat about. First, I want to share three personal moments, highlighting three transformational moments we all remember. So it's September 10th, 2001. I'm with my band in Minneapolis. We're packing our band van, getting ready to drive to New York City to play a big festival. It's the CMJ Festival. We had a huge show, planning to play Friday, September 14th. Big billing. It was our time, right? We've been rehearsing for months. And we wake up the next morning to 9/11, the terror attacks. So after resetting, we all had to do what was next. And we kept going. We kept rocking, as Foreigner says best. We didn't give up. And we went and played the same festival a year later. Better spot, better venue, actually met a record label there, put out a record. And it took all of us as a team and a band and a family to get through this together and ultimately end up in a better spot. So fast forward 2008, 9 years into growing my company called Modern Survey, the financial crisis hits. Very challenging time for tech startups and smaller companies, and really for all of us. And to manage through this, we had to brace for the storm. And my partners and I cut our pay, we cut expenses, we cut everything we could. But we knew that wasn't going to be enough. And I talk about this often, and I still get choked up talking about it. But so many of our employees came forward and requested a pay reduction, right? So who does that? Who walks into your office and say, I'd like to cut my pay? And I remember vividly one person coming in, and it was just, an intense moment. And this happened because our team knew for us to survive and to weather the storm and come out of this on the other side, we needed to keep our family together, right? And if not for what our team did, I wouldn't be here talking to all of you today. And finally, last month, March 11th, I've been making a movie with my brother, and we were getting ready to go out to the premiere in LA. He's producer, he gets all the credit. I'm executive producer, which means I do nothing except make some creative decisions, everything a little brother should do. We were getting ready to jump on a plane, and COVID-19 shelter-at-home orders started going into place. Businesses started closing, so we had to make the right call. We canceled the event and canceled the premiere, and theaters started to close. So what's next? The incredible thing happened, and there is something called video streaming, and I hear you can do it with conferences really well. We had a great set of advisors around us who gave us advice. It was a team who shifted our thinking. We didn't know what to do, shifted our thinking, moved everything to virtual streaming on demand on Amazon, Apple, and now more people are seeing the movie than we could have in the past. So 3 examples, and I'm going to switch slides here. I have 3 monitors going, so bear with me. So why do I bring these stories up? It's pretty simple. It's all about people around us, those we surround ourselves with, the teams we build, the people we empower. Right? It's all about putting people first. It always has been. And I'm going to read the slide. It's powerful. In a world that's constantly changing and transforming, people are at the heart of the success or failure of every business. And this slide is why I changed my presentation when I was going through it last night. We created this slide when we stood up Kincentric a year ago. And now, man, it resonates to me more than ever before. And it's a reminder of the incredible responsibility we have in the people analytics and the HR and talent space to work with our people, work with our clients and the larger community. So with that, we are Kincentric, and we passionately believe in unlocking the power of people and teams. And quickly, we do this by harmonizing strategy, flexible technology, and impactful insights. But it's all about people. This is our purpose. This is what gets us out of bed every day. This motivates me every day. And frankly, we don't succeed if we're not accomplishing this with our clients. And speaking on behalf of Kincentric, I'm honored and humbled to work with such a talented team. And you'll see a few Kincentric folks floating around virtually, so please say hi. Everybody's very, very friendly and would love to have conversations. So just like all of you over the past few weeks, being commercial hasn't felt right. We've been focused on one simple mantra, and that's being helpful. This is important to us. This is something I believe to be one of the building blocks of incredible culture, right? Culture is about getting small things, moments that matter right over and over and over again, right? Consistency over intensity. Those small repeatable moments of simply being helpful to one another. And this is a result of an inspired and connected workforce who genuinely are connected to their company purpose, right, and success, and a workforce who truly care about the people they work with. So I pose these questions. So why is it during crisis, in most cases, the best of people in humanity are brought to the surface, right? Or better put, why do leaders, teams, peers rise to the extraordinary during crisis, during pandemic, during tough times? I mean, it's almost as if road rage disappears, right? We're all sitting in traffic. Yeah, we aren't getting angry. We aren't honking the horn. We all have more patience. We're all more relaxed. Our resilient nature comes out. And we know change and movements happen when there's enough momentum and inertia, and when the desire to evolve is actually stronger than the desire to remain in the current state or status quo. So I would argue human nature are very, very good at reacting. We do this well. And we know this. We all know this. This is primal behavior to some degree. But with this, what do we do to create consistency and sustainability versus just short-term reaction? So over the past few days, you've been hearing a lot about higher levels of engagement. And many of you are hopefully feeling it and experiencing it in your organizations. Town halls that were happening every 3 months are happening every month, every 2 weeks. Team meetings that were happening every month are happening every week. One-on-ones that were happening every 2 weeks are happening 3 times a week, right? The way we're connecting is incredible. We're seeing organizations doing extraordinary things as they rise to the occasion, staying more connected, transparent, empathetic with each other. We're seeing a focus on well-being and safety and personal resiliency, unlike we, from my perspective, haven't seen in a long, long time. The risk we run is pulling back on these extraordinary efforts as the new normal, right, arrives, or even worse, just going back to our old habits. So many organizations have been setting the bar high, and it's working. It's working well. And those who are raising the bar up need to recognize the massive and positive impact that they're having. And this type of awareness and recognition is crucial. So sustainability is key to the long-term success. So with that, I'm going to make a bold statement, coming to a close here. I would argue what most organizations are doing in response to this pandemic, resulting in increased engagement in many cases, they already knew how important these things were. Right? So I'm going to repeat this. What organizations are doing in response, they already knew how important these things were. They just didn't find the time. Right? It became secondary. So in these extraordinary times, which is generating this extraordinary behavior and outcome, we're ultimately essentially having culture transformation happening overnight. And it wasn't even planned. So the question and the opportunity we all have in our organizations as leaders, colleagues, is how can we sustain change for the positive, right? We've set the bar high. How do we keep it going? And the best thing we can do is listen to our people with intentionality and act with clear purpose. And then listen some more and act some more. And let me be really clear, I do not mean chaotic surveying. I do not mean just sending lots of surveys out. Choosing what we do and acting on data is more crucial now than ever before, which also means the data we choose to ask and the data we choose to use, and you all know this, is even more important than ever. And transparency always remains king through all this. So finally, we need to hold each other accountable for these new standards as we move into the new normal. And I guess my closing statement would be, the one thing we can all control is our reaction to this, right? So the new normal isn't a point of arrival. We have to work together within our organizations as a community to create this new normal. We can't just show up. And whatever this new normal ends up being, the one thing we know is it certainly is not going to be built for us, right? We own it. We need to build it. So with that, I'm going to leave you with a fun slide and contact information. If you're a musician like myself, you might have seen this BBC put together video of the Foo Fighters doing in times like these. I bring this up because it's an incredible collaboration of people doing extraordinary things together for the right reasons. And it's a cool song. And lyrically, man, this song was built for this time. So I'd leave you with that. Reach out to me on LinkedIn, email. And thank you. Hope I didn't go long.